Hi there, today we are heading to Bakewell. I think John's quite excited about it because he heard cake, didn't you, John?
I'm very excited, yes.
Obviously Bakewell, the town, is the home of the Bakewell Tart, and legend has it that it was created by a woman who made a mistake when she was making a jam tart, and it became very popular and it just took off from there. Now we're heading, obviously Bakewell's in the Peak District, so we're heading through the Peak District to get to Bakewell. So if we have a look around, we've got some quite spectacular views, particularly at the front. We can look straight over there at the front, if you see. There's some really spectacular views to be seen, and as we continue on the journey we'll show you some more on the way. So going through all sorts of little villages and some narrow windy roads, sort where you hope you don't meet anything coming the other way. Oops, and there we go.
We just have, and it ain't
It's not small, no, it's a van.
Steep hills.
Yeah.
And steep turns.
Yeah. This is not quite so narrow as it was.
And another steep turn.
Yeah. Look at the view down to the right. We have now arrived in Bakewell, and it looks a really picturesque town. However, if you're driving, it's an absolute nightmare to park. Parking, disabled people have to pay for, whether you've got a blue badge or not. The blue badge spaces are very narrow, not much different than a normal car parking space. And unless you manage to park on a long stay car park, your maximum parking time is 2 hours. So we haven't had a great first impression so far because of the parking situation. So hopefully it will improve as we look around the town. Okay, we've parked where they have a market on Monday, so normally you can't park here on a Monday because of the market. Let's be brave and cross the road. Across here we've got an award-winning cheese and wine shop, so if that's your thing, you can go into the cheese and wine shop. I'll cope with the wine but not with the cheese. Yeah. Can smell the fish and chip shop. It smells quite nice. Looks pretty good. Pudding parlour and shop. Poster pudding anywhere in the UK.
Ah, okay.
The bean and bag coffee. And there's a little passageway through here that we can go. So we've got another cake shop there with original Bakewell puddings, it says, and there's another one where you can post a pudding should you so desire to post a pudding. Why you'd want to post a pudding when you're outside the shop, I don't know, but there we go. I think we should get some Bakewell tarts, personally. Yeah. We've just had, I've had a corned beef hash pasty. George has had a steak and potato pie. John had a, what was your pasty? Minted lamb?
Minted lamb, yeah.
My My pasty was delicious, I have to say. How was yours pasty, John? Was it good?
It was very good, yeah.
And John's pasty was good too. How was your pie, George? And George enjoyed his pie. And we've had a Bakewell Tart each afterwards, which was absolutely delicious. Had a choice of Bakewell Tart or Bakewell pudding, and you could have it with icing on the top or without icing on the top. So I thought, while we're breaking the diet, we might as well go for the icing. And they were absolutely delicious.
That's something to look forward to later then, isn't it?
It is, because we bought a large one to bring home. So we'll carry on. Just notice all of the buildings are made out of this kind of stone. And that's what you find in towns in the Peak District. They're all built out of this kind of stone. We've got a few pubs. One thing I must say is we've found the people here to be very friendly so far. It might not be brilliant for parking, but the people are friendly, so we'll give them that. There are lots of coffee houses too, and lots of cake shops, not surprisingly, because it is the home of the Bakewell Tart. Pub's got an interesting curve on it. The roads around are quite busy, so you do need to take care when you're crossing the road. It goes very narrow here, so be careful. There's lots of places to eat. It's very touristy. So we have yet another pudding shop there. It's the old original Bakewell pudding shop.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's the one where the lady accidentally invented the Bakewell pudding as opposed to a jam tart. I don't know.
Very well could be.
Could be. So they've got Chelsea buns and Eccles cakes and luxury fruit scones, Sally Lunn, iced fingers, pan au chocolat, croissants, flatbread. We've got a milkshake gift set, different cocktails that you can get and jams. And upstairs it has a restaurant and tea rooms, and they've got a freshly baked bread, cakes, tarts and puddings and much more. So it could well be the original shop where the lady accidentally invented the Bakewell Tart. The original Bakewell pudding sold here since 1865. It certainly looks it, the ceilings are low. It looks nice inside anyway. Let's continue. I have to say that it's quite tricky for John getting around with his cane because the pavements are quite narrow, aren't they, John?
They are quite narrow, yeah.
And there's quite a few people about as it's a tourist area. Obviously, Bakewell being in the Peak District, it's very popular with walkers. So we've got an outdoor shop here to the left. Bakewell Book and Coffee Shop. And the rain's coming down on us now. But the sun's still out. So somewhere there'll be a rainbow. We've had our wander around Bakewell. There's positives and negatives to the place. Positive, the people are really friendly in the shops and so on. The buildings are beautiful, built to that old Derbyshire stone. You get a real sense of the age of it. There are tons of places to stop and have something to eat and drink if you want to. There's lots of cafes. There's lots of Bakewell Tart shops, surprisingly. Well, it's not surprising really, it's to be expected. And there's sweet shops and so on. There's different pubs. On the downside, it's awful to park. The disabled parking is very, very small, so if you've got a large chair, you're going to struggle to get that out of your car. And parking's limited as well. The short-term parking is limited to strictly 2 hours. So if you want to be longer than that, you're going to have to try and find a long stay car park. So we personally, I don't think it's set up for visitors if you're driving, because it was quite difficult, and we felt very lucky that we managed to find one. And obviously the weather wasn't on our side, but that's unfortunate. That can happen wherever you go, can't it? It can rain.
And that's what happened with us.
That's what's happened today. It's been raining, so it could happen anywhere, so it's just one of those things. It is possible to get around in a chair as long as it's not massively wide, or a scooter you can get around. You've seen some people going around in scooters. Some of the pavements are quite narrow, some bits of them. They're only wide enough for one person, so it might be difficult for you there, but otherwise it's okay. Oh, and the other thing is you have to pay 20p to use the toilet if you need to go. So that's about all I can think of. So anyway, if you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you don't already, please hit the subscribe button and you'll never miss one of our weekly uploads again. Thank you so much for joining us and for watching us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.